ladies and gentlemen.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Been given the scientific knowledge, the technical ability, and the materials to pursue the exploration of the universe.
Broadcasting around the world.
3, 2, 1.
This is MindFaction Podcast.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
What's happening?
We are
back.
here. Episode 4.
Number 4.
September 29th, 2021.
Quattro.
We are here to bring y'all some pretty good facts tonight on the podcast. We really hope you guys enjoyed the video podcast that we produced. We're doing it again tonight.
We're excited to keep bringing those to you guys. Cause
definitely.
We personally like those because just from our experience of watching podcasts, you know, we're fans of them too. Like the Joe Rogan experience.
Big time fans.
So, you know, I mean, we enjoy watching with a little bit of video, you know. So.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of times when I'm like mowing or doing some yard work, I'll listen to it just like on Spotify. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Just the audio version.
But, you know, when I'm just chilling or something and I can show somebody at the tattoo shop the video version, it's more interesting to them.
Yeah.
They get our reactions more.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, whenever you like actually watch somebody talking, it's more of like a personal experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you feel the emotion more, I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can see their reaction and stuff. Mm-hmm. But tonight, you know, we just want to touch on that, and we really want to appreciate everybody for joining in and really supporting us. It's really blowed our minds and really impressed us. Okay.
So I guess we're going to lead off with the Gabby Petito case again.
Case.
Yeah.
As you guys may have seen on the news, old dog the bounty hunter's down there.
Made a big deal about that, huh?
Yeah, I seen a meme where it was like, he's running or something. Somebody said, "Hold my beer," and it shows dog. That was
I seen the headlines, you know, quotations, "Dog on the hunt."
Yeah,
like,
come on, man. That is cool. He's down there because this guy does need apprehended.
He does.
He's obviously.
I truthfully hope that, you know, I can see this as being like a, you know, like a media grab or something like that for Dog.
Yeah, I could.
I don't know if he's still got a TV show that's on the air right now, but
I don't know.
I hope it's not just like an attention grab trying to get his name back out there. I hope he's truly trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's me too. I hope not, and I hope he's doing it just out of the kindness of his heart. Really.
Yeah.
I heard Upchurch put some money up on that. Did you hear about that?
Oh, really?
I heard he put like 50,000 up.
50 grand. Yeah.
50 grand up.
Yeah.
Shots out to Upchurch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing big things also. Maybe we can get him on a podcast in the future one day.
Now, didn't you say just before we got on here, you know, that you had some information on?
I do.
So what's going on?
Okay, so a neighbor is what I was reading up on, had seen Brian and his family load up into a camper. They left for a couple of days, and when the camper returned, him and his mother, or his father and mother's the only ones that returned. So Dog was saying that they traced them down to an RV park in Florida.
Okay.
It's not nowhere close to the swamp they're talking about.
Yeah.
But this RV park has a lot of small islands and a lake, I'm guessing. This way he explained it. Multiple small islands. So they're thinking that he may have a canoe and could be jumping island to island, camping, eluding him that way. I don't know.
My thing on that is, and I understand you kind of have to be in the mindset of Brian Laundrie.
Right.
Man, if you're really doing that, right, you know, what are you're just delaying the inevitable.
Delaying it. Like, you know it's coming, bro. Like,
it's coming, man.
You've sealed your fate. You're done guilty in the public's eye. Yeah. Running like that. Like, the best thing you could have done if you was not guilty was come forward and say, "Hey, I don't know what happened to her. I dropped her off out of the van." He could have made a story up and said, "Hey, we got into an argument. I let her out of the van. I drove a couple miles on the road, come back. I didn't know where she went. I thought somebody picked her up." You could have made up any kind of story.
Right.
I mean, but this guy is obviously straight guilty, bro. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt.
But, you know, he's not even really wanted for the murder.
That's what I was about to say. Law enforcement.
Yeah.
He's not guilty of anything.
No, not right now.
Yeah. The FBI only put out their what do you call that? Like whenever you're like a warrant.
Yeah, it's like a warrant, but he's a person of question.
Yeah.
But right now they're just questioning him for what is it, like money fraud, bank fraud?
Yeah,
I think it was bank fraud.
Is that what it's called? Money laundering? So it's
well, bank fraud, like he's used a card or something that wasn't his, or that's all he's really wanted for at the moment.
So I just read that apparently
I don't know.
They found that he was at an AT&T store with his mom. So he left his phone and his wallet at home. But as of right now, the new spotting was he was at an AT&T store before they went on the camping trip.
Really?
So
he's got a different phone right now.
It's probably pretty possible.
But you know, man, with all these people coming forward saying that they've seen his parents and him,
right?
That's a ballsy move, man. They were already on the hunt of this guy,
I'm telling
correct?
You, I don't know for sure. This may have been when he first arrived back in Florida. I'm not for sure.
Well, I'm sure it was, but I mean,
But yeah, I don't know. When did they really start looking for this guy as a character of interest?
you see,
I can't remember the date on that.
I don't know the exact timeline on this,
don't either.
to be able to speak on that. So,
But everybody out there listening, I'm pretty sure you guys are on the same page as we are. This guy is definitely looking 100% guilty, because who else do they have in question?
September 14th.
Is that when it happened? When they started looking for him?
They went to his house, and his parents said he wasn't there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
but according to what Dwayne the dog Chapman has said,
Chapman.
he's supposed to have him in custody within a day or two.
Within
I think he said within hours.
Tonight.
Right?
Yeah, tonight, right?
But I'm going to give him a day or two just because
Yeah.
he's being a little overzealous on that comment.
I mean, I know he's good at what he does, but
Yeah.
I hope y'all heard that. Somebody needs to go to a exhaust shop. Anyway,
Pretty sure it was a moped.
Joe's Muffler Shop.
I guess we're in the Philippines now. Mopeds is flying around here with open headers on them.
The only thing they're not doing is honking their horns, man. I'm glad they're not doing that.
But on this case, it's kind of drawn out. I don't know. I hope they do catch him tonight. I'm pretty interested to see what transpires out of all this. But like we said before on MindFaction, hey, we hope Gabby's family can find some closure. We're very sorry what you guys are going through, and hopefully this guy is brought to justice, because he deserves it.
Yep.
So whenever we get an update, guys, we'll let everybody else know.
So hopefully next week when we
hopefully got to get
record
update
another podcast for you guys,
that he has been apprehended.
he'll be captured. So
Dog beat the shit out of him.
hopefully with his paintball, him and his boys gonna roll in with those paintball guns.
CO2.
Busty. Oh yeah, you can get that fully auto tipping.
That's what it sounds like, man. They're gonna bunker him like in Speedball. Coming with Speedball guns.
For sure. But yeah, man, I hope everything goes good and they do apprehend him.
Yeah, all jokes aside, our condolences once again.
And I'm telling you, man, I know a lot of people get tired of hearing this, but it's pretty interesting to me and us that our leadership of this country right now is, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're on some shaky foundation.
We are looking terrible right now.
Shaky.
Yeah.
Yep, that's for sure.
And it's embarrassing.
Very embarrassing. Us as Americans, we uphold ourselves to a certain standard, and right now that standard's being
we proud Americans.
the proud Americans. This sounds bad, but and like I said, I'm not really pro Republican or pro Democrat. I'm for whoever is for the country and does the best job.
Exactly.
But, and this just may be me, when Trump was in there, I felt more American than ever, almost, as far as proud to be American.
And I think that stems from, he was putting America first.
He was.
We were kind of reverting back to an isolationist style country. However, I feel like that was for our own benefit at that time.
It was a perfect move, because our infrastructure really needed restructuring.
We needed that.
Lord. You think about this. We live in one of the, I guess, is McCreary County the poorest county in Kentucky right now?
I believe so.
I know it's up there.
Yeah, it's one of the poorest counties in the country, as a matter of fact. I think top 25.
So, guys, where we're from, in McCreary County, Kentucky, the people here is awesome. We got so many awesome people. It's a small area for people that don't know about where we're from. But, we got the U.S. government building hospitals, jails, schools in Afghanistan, a country that cares nothing about Americans, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And here in McCreary County, we don't have a jail. We don't have a hospital. I'm glad we have the schools we have. Mm-hmm. But there's so much more stuff that America could do for America before we step outside the country to give a helping hand. And I know that sounds kind of selfish.
And I don't think any American could disagree with you on that.
I would hope not.
It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. I think we can all agree that we need to take care of ourselves.
We really need to.
We need to do a better job of just taking care of us here at home.
Then we can help other people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying turn your cheek and don't help other people.
Right.
But when we have little kids here going to sleep hungry, you know what I'm saying? They're happy to go to school, not just to learn, but be able to eat food, bro. You know what I'm saying? That bothers me.
Yeah.
Knowing a little kid's laying there hungry.
Yeah. And I think we can agree that, we're not saying don't help your allies.
We're not saying that at all.
But, or don't send out maybe some financial aid to some other countries that may need it, but the amount of money that we're consistently sending out, all of these things we're doing, we're spreading ourselves very thin. We're struggling to budget ourselves right now. So we need to take care of ourselves back here at home, and then rebuild our foundation from the ground up.
That's right.
As far as infrastructure and all of that goes, and then we can branch out and help the world.
That's the only way it should be. You know, a lot of these other countries, and I'm not being mean about this, but like say Afghanistan, for instance, America falls. Would they help us?
No.
Would they give a lending hand to really help us?
I personally believe, like we said last week, most countries want to see us fail.
I really believe that too, bro. I really do. And it's sad to say that because I hate it has to be that way.
You know, in front of the cameras, you have a lot of countries that are, pro-America, pro-United States.
Oh, yeah.
But behind the curtain, we know what's going on.
I mean, we spent 20 years rebuilding the country at war with Iraq, Afghanistan.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Okay, but while we're rebuilding somebody else's infrastructure,
and their whole country
fell apart.
Exactly.
Within those 20 years, we disintegrated into something that now people look down on this country instead of looking up.
A lot of people do.
Exactly.
But like Corey said on our last episode, we are the standard. We're supposed to be.
Right.
And maybe that's our upper, leadership saying that we're the standard, so we should help. I understand that. But, a lot of these upper leadership in our country has never struggled in their life, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They've never went through hard times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know I'm getting on a subject. We kind of ramble on about certain things, but it's leading into what I have to say. Okay, Biden. Y'all wondering about these gas prices. People say the gas prices don't revolve around Biden, but it does. Because on his first day, he killed the Keystone Pipeline plumb out.
You're right.
And he's saying this to go green and this and that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. It was just to undo what Trump had in plan. Mm-hmm. That's all it was about.
Yeah, to reverse everything that he implemented.
It was like, I'm going to throw a little pity party, or I'm bigger now. I can read, anything he done, I'm undoing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like some childish ass shit is what it was.
Yeah,
and he did that for the Obama administration.
Oh, yeah.
My opinion is that he's doing that for the Obama administration.
Listen to this fact. The pipeline would have brought 830,000 barrels of Canadian oil south, and plus delivered thousands upon thousands of great paying jobs for Americans and Canadians alike.
So it would have been a benefit all the way around.
All the way around. Because right now what we're doing is we're paying foreign countries for oil import. Okay, he's wanting to go green, right? What about these tankers that's coming across the sea putting out all kinds of pollution and bring the oil to us?
Yeah. And I mean, have you ever seen the numbers on what it takes to mine the metals that it takes to make these
lithium batteries
to power these electric cars? I mean, you are producing more carbon into the atmosphere, polluting the atmosphere
way
worse than if you were to just, get the fossil fuels, create the, fuel that we need.
Exactly. And speaking on going green, I'm all for going. If we could really go green, that would be amazing. But there's an issue with that. Okay, one country goes green, maybe two. Do you think all the countries are going to go green?
No.
Can you tell me China's going to go fully green?
No.
Okay, so what's one country out of the whole world, if we're not on the same page, going to help anything with the global warming issues?
Except we all signed that Paris agreement to...
Yeah, and who knows what was all in that? We don't know.
Did you see that? That's actually one of the craziest facts. They said that, what was that called? The Paris Accord?
Paris Accord, yeah.
That was the largest event ever where that many countries came together to sign one thing.
That is dope, though.
Yeah.
Because I felt like when they signed that, we were starting to all get on the same page.
Right. Didn't they all meet at the United Nations, at the embassy there, whatever that is?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm not trying to drive Biden into the ground. If he was doing a good job, I would congratulate him. I'm not hating on him because he's a Democrat or he's a leftist, whatever's going on. I don't do that. But right's right and wrong's wrong. He's not doing good for this country. Yeah. And we can all see that.
To speak on that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Not just, to speak on what you're saying about, not being biased, dependent on like who you affiliate with politically, like, right. The left side, the right side, whatever. As a matter of fact, back in 2008, because I would identify, if I'm going to vote, I'm identifying as Republican. I actually don't affiliate with either party, but I align with Republican views more so.
Same here.
But in 2008, man, McCain versus Obama, I actually wasn't totally opposed to Obama because I wasn't either. Everybody kind of compared him to an extent to kind of Kennedy.
Yeah, they did.
He was a youthful guy coming into office. We needed
had character about him.
Mm-hmm, we needed something fresh, something new, and we felt that he brought that. And we thought that he would lead us back to where we once were.
Exactly.
And so I was all for that. I was all for, and all the promises that he made. He was a great speaker,
amazing speaker, amazing front man,
and he didn't deliver.
He did not deliver. And what I was really, really hoping for out of Obama was unifying the races in America. All he did, honestly, we'll be honest here, is divide us more.
Yes.
You know, everybody plays this race stuff, you know. That's a touchy subject, but it's the facts that he created more division. And if you cannot see that, I don't know what's going on. Now, I would say if you can mix Obama and Trump together, be a great president.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
You have Trump's business ideas, business drive, and then you have the speaking and the front man of Obama.
Yeah.
If Trump would have had the charisma of as far as Obama in front of people and how, you know, but the thing about Trump is he's not a politician, bro. He is a CEO and a boss. So he ran his country like it was a business, and that's all America is. It's a huge
and we
business.
needed that.
We needed
the time
that.
he came in, we needed that. He was getting us back on the right track.
Obviously.
We needed 4 more years of that.
I hope he gets 4 more.
And I do too.
Hope he runs again. And they'll probably X him out somehow. They'll find something way to, I don't know. I hope not, but.
I like DeSantis too.
Right. Yeah. The thing about, you know, the Democratic Party, when the whole Biden deal was going down, they had nobody else but him and Bernie really represent them, as far as I know, as far as a popular candidate, you know. So I don't know, but you know, I don't know, man. Now this border stuff's getting out of hand too. It's plumb out of hand,
it's out of
bro.
Control.
It's out of control. Jeez. Have you heard anything about it?
It's nuts right now, man.
Tens of thousands of immigrants coming through. We don't know if they're robbers, gang members, rapists. We don't know if they got COVID, what kind of diseases they're bringing in. I understand your country's bad and you want to come to America, but it's almost like they have this fable of America, just, you know, like you want everything for free.
Yeah. Did you see when they held that press conference and they asked that doctor who was there on the border, and they said, how do you know for sure, are you testing all these individuals that are coming across for COVID-19? You know, they could be bringing it right into our country. While we're in the middle of this pandemic, they could be bringing it right in. And they're like, he said something along the lines of like, well, they didn't appear to be sick, and those that did appear to be sick, we addressed those and the issues that they were having, and we got them the proper medical attention. He just kind of went around it, basically.
Oh yeah, they always dance around all these questions.
There's no possible way
there's no way.
So basically saying, we visually inspected them.
And how many people are you actually stopping that's coming through the right way? Like how many people's going around them barriers and garrisons and stuff and getting through the wrong way?
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that they can have enough people under control.
You know, in 2021, I don't even know how it's not as simple as just swimming across or, you know, I don't even know the methods by which they would have to do that nowadays. But
yeah, I don't either.
That's not to say they're not doing it every single day.
You know, they are.
By the hundreds.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know. I think that kind of influx on people in America on them borders will have a tremendous and a detrimental effect on the future of America.
Oh yeah,
schools, hospitals,
absolute adverse effects for the future.
I mean, for years upon years,
because all these people are coming across. There's no repercussions for illegally coming into this country.
Right.
It's like, oh well, now you just have to go by the legal way. We're going to make you do this and this, and they kind of have like a checklist of things they have to do to become a citizen, and then you're going to get free health care and everything.
Our healthcare,
we don't even have free health care.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Healthcare,
especially if you're a business owner like yourself, man.
Oh man, it's hard on us.
It's hard.
But you know, they're handing everything to them. You know what I'm saying? My dad, I always bring him up every podcast. Tomorrow makes 3 months, he'll be gone. So I kind of want to dedicate this one to him. You know, he worked all his life, bro, and he didn't get the medical attention he truly needed. Right. As a working, tax-paying man.
He went without because he couldn't afford it, because it wasn't affordable to the common man.
But somebody roll up in here that gives no shits about what America's founded upon, don't care about none of our beliefs,
our values,
morals.
Let's hand them everything.
Let's give them everything, because that's what we as Americans do.
That's what we do.
That's what we're told.
Let's screw our own people.
Yeah, they're saying, man, let's do the right thing. You know what the right thing is to do? The right thing is to take a natural born American.
That's right.
And take care of them.
Exactly.
Each and every one of us.
How many commercials do you see of third world country kids that are starving, or have dirty water, or don't have food, or whatever?
Right.
Compare that to the amount of foster children that you have in the United States.
Good point.
In the system.
Right.
How many commercials do you see of foster children?
You don't see none of that.
I haven't seen any.
And those kids need a lot of help. You know what I mean? They've come through from broken homes.
Don't take me the wrong way on this. I'm not trying to say, hey, let's not help these individuals out at all.
Right.
Same.
We all want the American dream.
We do.
And so I want that for them as well.
Oh, I'd love it.
But let's not do more for them than we're doing for ourselves.
Our own American-born people. Okay, we'll take, for instance, you want to start a business. Instantly, you're paying taxes, bro.
Yeah.
You got a foreign person comes in this country. They don't have to pay taxes, 4 or 5 years? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they'll let them slide. So why don't you, as an American born citizen, okay, you want to start a damn business at 18? Why don't you get 4 or 5 years of tax free?
You should.
You should.
Just to give us the opportunity to get our foot in the door.
It's equal opportunity country. We're all created equal, correct?
There's no risk for them, essentially.
No.
Because the biggest risk of trying to become your own business owner is that financial aspect.
Exactly.
Because I know so many people who they don't have the finances to be able to go out and start their own business.
Man, I know.
But they are super intelligent,
very
hardworking, and they would be able to get a business off the ground if they were given that opportunity.
Exactly.
From a financial standpoint.
You know, I don't know.
Never happen.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with Biden and what's the lady that represents him? The redheaded chick that's on TV. What is her name?
Of the House?
Yeah, what is her name? It slips my mind, but she always dances around the main questions.
I mean, the lady that's at the press conference.
Yeah, what is her name?
I can't remember what her name is.
Sorry, guys. You know, we ain't too interested in guys other than what they're doing wrong, really, because they ain't doing nothing right. So I ain't trying to single about nobody out on that, but I mean, we have a great nation here. I'm all for helping other people. I know we're just lingering on with this topic, but at the same time, we need to make it very clear that a lot of people don't know what's truly going on. Mm-hmm. Before I did this podcast, we was talking about in text messages on Facebook how we're learning more because we're studying up on all this stuff so we can bring you guys the facts.
Yeah, we've always been more interested, you know, in learning these things so that we can have a good conversation with one another because we find it so interesting.
Exactly.
But this has given us even more of an initiative to look into things, to read up on the news.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat, man, that what this podcast has even done for us. So hopefully we're able to kind of keep you guys informed. Here's something I was kind of wanting to touch on. We say this every episode. Sick and tired of hearing about COVID.
It's all good.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Throw it out.
People are getting tired of the mask mandates, man.
They are.
So, you know, with going on with like flights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, your unruly plane behavior going on right now.
What do you mean?
So a lot of these, what am I trying to say? Like airlines, they're trying to impose harsher penalties and more enforcement on people because they're quote unquote still acting out. So the FAA said that it had launched 789 investigations this year, more than double the number from 2019 and 2020 combined. Okay. The agency has begun enforcement actions in 162 cases and proposed more than $1 million in fines, and about 3/4 of those cases involve a passenger refusing to wear a mask. Just think about that.
Okay.
So basically, I think the biggest issue we're seeing here is, I think a lot of airlines have already imposed this now. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on this, but if you are vaccinated and have produced a negative COVID test, then you were permitted to get on.
That makes sense.
The plane.
That makes sense. You're talking about without a mask, correct?
No, they're still imposing the mask mandate once you are on the plane.
Okay.
Even with having been vaccinated and producing a negative. So that's why people are kind of bucking on it. Like, why do I have to do this?
So they're still wanting them to wear a mask even though they've tested negative and they've been vaccinated.
Yeah, and then the people, I guess, I don't even know if all airlines are imposing those same, things, but, regardless of that, you got people acting out, as they're saying. So they're imposing all this. So basically what they're saying here, is that they want to have harsher penalties on people. And so I just think that's crazy. It says here, so Sarah Nelson, the international president of the Association of Flight Attendants, said, quote, "We need DOJ criminal charges and enforcement. We need to make the FAA zero tolerance policy permanent, and we need to staff up investigators and extend investigation time."
How are you penalizing
this? Is all stemming from our government right now.
Well, first of all,
I'm telling you, bro, it's just crazy.
That title was absolutely amazing of this lady. But second of all, how in the world could you find somebody for flying on a plane without a mask?
That's what they're doing, man. How could you find people for what they're getting fined for nowadays? I mean, think about this. If you went back 2 years ago today to this date 2 years ago and told them what was about to be going on 2 years from then,
blow somebody's mind.
They'd be like, "There's no way it's happening. That's crazy."
I would have never thought it.
No.
We only seen this type of stuff in movies. But you know what I'm saying? Honestly,
the main point being, all of this right here stems from the mandates that our own government is trying to impose on us.
Yeah.
And so these airlines are trying to keep a good image and trying to say, "Hey, we're doing our part." So instead of receiving all the backlash from their own government, They're trying to impose these things, and look what it's leading to. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's leading to a lot of rebellion activity. But the thing is, okay, I'm going to take it back to Trump and Biden. If Trump was enforcing stuff like Biden is, like mandating vaccinations, mandating all this stuff, the country would have been a whole riot going on. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
They would have bucked up on Trump so hard and crucified him for everything he's talking about. But when Biden does it, nobody says nothing.
Well, the reason... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I think one major thing is when people looked at Joe Biden, they look at the cabinet that he has around him as well. They don't just put Biden up there by himself on that pedestal.
Oh, no.
With Trump, they acted like, you know, that he didn't have any intellectual cabinet around him that helped him make these decisions. They were like, man, Trump is an idiot. Trump is ignorant.
He's just a businessman.
Yeah.
He don't know how to run a country.
Yeah, he had a cabinet around him that made him
a great cabinet, a really good cabinet,
intelligent, informed decisions.
That blows my mind that people even think that way.
Yeah,
I mean, what the hell's going on?
This started out as not mandatory, though. I mean, how many videos have you seen of this? Vaccines won't be mandatory. You know, now it's we're gonna make it mandatory, or you're not gonna work.
Oh, Biden done said he's implementing his power.
Right, but he's going back on his word because first initial interviews he never said at all, this is not going to be mandatory.
Right.
We're not going to make you do this. I can't foresee that in the future.
Oh, let me knock it over.
How many U.S. Army people right now are about to step down from their job because
nurses,
they're mandated?
Nurses. My woman's a nurse. She does not want to take the vaccine, and her job that she went to college for, just like these American soldiers had went through basic and did all this stuff, for them to have their job put into jeopardy. A year ago, you guys was praising these nurses and stuff, not being vaccinated.
They were the heroes.
They was the heroes.
Heroes on the front lines.
And now we're being crucified for not wanting to take a vaccine, bro.
Which is leading to massive staff shortages all over the country.
And they won't even terminate them. They want them to quit. Like I've seen amounts of videos where they're like,
I've seen now that they're going to start terminating them if they don't.
Now I have heard. Now I don't know about around here, and I don't want to offend anybody in the medical field that may listen to our podcast. So I'm not going to speak on the local hospitals around here per se.
Okay.
But around the country, I've seen in the news that it isn't even about not having enough beds; it's having enough staff to cover all of the beds that are available.
That makes sense.
So the shortages are leading to them not being able to fully use all the space that they have available to them.
Because they don't have the staff to keep up.
Exactly. And that's sad, man, because we need, you know, and I say we need, but they need all the help they can get.
And that's another thing. I mean, you go to school to be a traveling or a nurse or CNA or whatever.
Yep.
So
LPN, RN.
And it goes back to, you know, you've got people from hometowns that are going to get paid $40,000, $50,000 to travel somewhere else. So you have to leave a small hometown to travel to get paid a better amount. But those people that are still there are getting paid the same.
Yeah.
So it's like a bonus now.
Right.
But yet if you work through the pandemic, you're still going to get paid the same.
Yeah, true. You know, that's like, I really should have my woman called in for us, because coming from her, she's on the front lines all the time. She sent me a picture today of her in 95'd up, face shielded up. You know what I'm saying? She works in a nursing home.
Yeah.
She explained to me, these nurses they're tired. I mean, they're getting wore out.
They're exhausted.
You know,
mentally, physically.
Yeah. I mean, people's dying on them. You know, she works in a nursing home, and people she really gets close to dies, and a lot of them died from COVID, I guess, you know, from when I was, you know, in the beginning. As far as I know now, I think it's okay there. I don't know. She can't really disclose information to me, but I mean,
it takes a toll on one's psyche.
It does. Mental health.
Absolutely.
Speaking of mental health, I don't know what else you got going on, but I want to touch on that later in this episode. So remind me on mental health.
Okay. So right now, you know, we're kind of speaking on politics and so on. So another thing right now that's going on is the failure behind America's chip shortage.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
So I'm sure everyone at this point has heard about, you know, Kentucky Speedway, for instance, has a bunch of brand new F-150s all up in the track area,
loaded down.
Yeah, that don't have any chips to be able to operate these, you know, these trucks properly.
This kills me, man.
Yeah, they can't operate without these chips. So, and there's a lot of people who don't understand what's going on. So, basically, I'll just kind of read up on this for you. So there's been a boom in demand for lower cost chips, which are embedded in every, you know, just a variety of consumer products. The 200 millimeter technology is more sought after than ever. So
and that's the size of these chips.
That's the size of these are microchips.
Yes.
So there's two main approaches to chip production right now. There's using a 200 millimeter or 300 millimeter wafer, which these things are, they get split into lots of tiny chips.
Makes sense.
So there's just a shortage on these right now. Plus, with the staggering cost of getting these things shipped to us because they come from overseas, the rising cost of fuel, you combine all that,
Here we go.
and the difficulty of
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster, and so
that's a disaster waiting to happen. And I do not understand. Not to cut you off, bro.
No, you're good.
I do not understand why, as a country, as diverse as we are, our infrastructure is not set up to produce these chips and not have to import this stuff. Yeah. Why is that?
And it's absolutely going to affect the economy. Why? It says the auto industry alone, it's going to cost them $210 billion this year lost in sales due to this chip shortage.
And they ain't going to lose it. You know who's going to lose that? We are going to lose that.
Yeah.
Because prices start going up on vehicles. Mm-hmm. My next door neighbor in my tattoo shop was a used car salesman. Mm-hmm. I remember back in the summer there was a used car shortage because everybody's having to buy used cars. They could. It was crazy because of this.
Yeah,
all because of this chip situation.
Pat Gelsinger, who's the CEO of the Intel Corporation, as we all know, the computer corporation, warned that the shortage could last even longer than the end of next year, which is what most people are saying, that it could even stretch into 2023. And that is insane. I mean, so that means that's going to be disastrous
that's detrimental.
Anything electronic.
Oh yeah,
these chips are in everything.
It's probably in this Rodecaster Pro we're using.
It's in our phones.
I mean,
it's in our vehicles.
Here we go.
Yeah,
and this all stems from because we don't produce it here in our country.
Absolutely, we outsource everything.
Outsource it all. Mm-hmm. And I can't understand. Trump was wanting to fix that. I know I'm acting super pro Trump, but the facts are in front of you.
Yeah. So just want to touch on that kind of, that was something that I was really curious about. Like, so what's exactly going on here? And that may still not make a lot of sense to people if you don't understand kind of how things are mass produced. Yeah. These chips or whatever, they're metallic. And they're just broken into lots of tiny computer chips that are used for all these, like I said, consumer products, electronic consumer products. And
like you said, our phones, all of the major things that we use for life every day, as far as electronics go, they are included and involved in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's kind of scary because, some people couldn't revert without using technology like that. They can never go back to the old ways. And it would be a culture shock for a lot of people, for sure. But I'm going to take it here again. That's why we need the infrastructure in America strong enough to sustain itself. I feel we need to build America where we don't have to outsource anything.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
You need to be self-sustainable in every possible way.
I get tore up when I think about that. Because, I'm not no college student. I'm not no rocket scientist. I'm a tattoo artist, bro.
Yeah.
I have a little common sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the most book smart person in the world, but that is common sense.
Yeah. And that's not to say that we have to produce 100% of everything that we need.
But the most important things.
But we need to at least have a small amount of that in the event that we may have to just rely on what it is that we make.
Because, we're the greatest nation in the world. You tell me we can't make the same chips for the same price?
We can produce a vaccine in less than a year, though.
But we can't make a microchip?
Just saying.
I don't know, guys. I get tore up about some of that stuff, Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I like that, Kill. I'm going to throw this down there for you. Kill dropped that bomb on them, son.
Dropped it.
Thought that's pretty dope. Boom. Threw it in their face. So what else we going to talk about on this?
Man. I mean, so what do you want to talk? You want to mix it up and we'll just kind of hit on
Yeah, I mean, you know how we kind of freestyle stuff.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit.
Let's lighten it a little bit.
It's getting a little dark in here, man.
I'm telling you, hey, we get fired up about these podcasts.
I'm not trying to be this kind of
Hey, we're trying to have fun.
Listen, I'm just going to be like...
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Strike a pose. But anyways, I'm just going to flip this entirely 360 on us.
Okay.
I know you probably know, you guys know, LiDAR. You've heard of LiDAR.
Yeah.
LiDAR technology.
Yeah.
It is a mapping technology that is pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm into ancient civilizations, all that stuff. Have you seen some of the stuff they've used LiDAR for in the South American jungles?
I was about to mention that.
Bro.
South America.
I would love to be down there doing all that stuff.
There is so much more underneath that dense
the vegetation
foliage.
It just took over like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So,
what happened to
Good word. Good word.
Foliage. But, it's crazy how the jungle took over that quick.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was watching a lot of things about that, and they would get on one of the pyramids after it cleaned it off. They'd look out and they'd see these mounds, and they always thought it was just like hills. That's more the city. And when they flew over with this LiDAR, man, it revealed, I'm going to say like 60, 70% more than they ever thought was there in a lot of these cities. Billions of people live in these cities.
Do you think they can use that type of technology in the ocean?
I don't know. I don't know how the water would.
I bet the water distorts.
I wonder if you're in the ocean already. If you put that on a sub, a LiDAR.
I still say I bet the water distorts it.
It would have to be dense.
Because I say that type of technology was built specifically to get through trees and brush.
Yeah.
That type of material, not necessarily water that refracts and
You'd have to mess with the signal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they just don't want us to know what's down there.
They probably don't.
No, they probably don't.
They probably know something's down there.
A bunch of aliens down there.
Some crazy stuff.
Hit us with one of those sound effects.
Hit us with this one. Drum roll. I'm gonna drop this bomb on you.
Mind blown.
Speaking of aliens, have you ever looked up Machu Picchu in South America? Have you heard of Machu Picchu?
I have a bit, yeah.
Okay, Machu Picchu.
Is that in Peru?
Yes. Yeah, it's in the mountains of Peru. You know, these blocks that are in Machu Picchu, they think anywhere from 500 to 7,500 years old is when this was built. And these blocks are still almost sharp enough today to cut you if you run your finger down the edge of them.
Wow. But that
also,
that'd be more about the type of stone.
But as I'm gonna get to, the stone that these are made out of, the only thing that will cut these stones that these are made of is a diamond tipped tool. Diamond's the only thing. I think it's like diorite. That's what it's made out of or something.
Are diamonds found in that area?
No. They have not found diamonds in that area.
No way.
You tell me how they cut these stones back then.
Imported, bro. It was imported.
Yeah, we outsourced it.
Yeah.
We got a chip shortage in Machu Picchu.
We hit up the mines on FaceTime, and
then all of a sudden the UFO flies over.
They probably didn't even have diamonds down there.
What's that?
Around Mexico or the mines?
I don't know. But check this out on these blocks. You know me. I'm open minded. I do believe in a higher power, and I do believe that some of these civilizations back then did have help creating what they did. A lot of the stuff that they created 500 to 7,500 years ago, we cannot remake today with our technology, and that's what really gets me.
Yeah,
think about that.
Well, I've thought about this a lot because the biggest one that everyone brings up is either Stonehenge or the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of the same thought process, man. How do they move these massive blocks? 100,
200 tons.
The origin of the stones that they're using may be hundreds, if not thousands of miles away.
Exactly.
Perfectly.
So I'm kind of in the same mindset as you.
How they do it?
They almost had to have, but maybe they just had a different thought process than we do because they didn't have the availability. So they're like, how do we have to do this? And they really thought outside the box.
Well, as modern civilization thinks, it's almost like we feel that they was a lot less intelligent than we are. But the problem is we can't even figure out how they did that. So who's more intelligent?
Exactly.
We undercut a lot of these ancient civilizations as not being as on the same page as us technology wise. Digital is probably true, but at the same time, how did they do that?
What about the history of the lost city of Atlantis?
Oh man!
And there were books that were written that was in that huge library that burnt down. It was
Alexandria.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there had been people that had journeyed to Atlantis.
Yep.
And apparently they had technology that had never been seen before.
Was it Pluto?
Play-Doh?
What the fuck am I thinking, guys? Hold on a second.
It's not even a Play-Doh, bro.
Hit the record scratch.
Let me rewind that. Let's go back to that. It was Plato.
Yes.
But he had written a lot about that, about Atlantis. They said Atlantis was like an island, and it had
it had a ring around the outside of it. Yeah, it was an island in the center and kind of had island wrapped around it.
It had roads intertwined.
But they know that the center of this island was a volcano.
Yeah.
And that when it erupted, it went in water.
Yeah, they said they thought it sunk.
Kind of had a little bit of a Pompeii.
And they said they was so advanced.
Yeah. They had technology that had never been seen.
Yep. I would love for them to find
Plato did, as a matter of fact. I remember reading about that. He took a boat because that was obviously it's an island, so took a boat out there. I guess he did sort of explore it before he headed back, but he had some notes about it.
Now, did you talking about when Atlantis was above the water?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes,
I thought he had journeyed there.
He did, yeah.
Yep. That's amazing, man.
It's just, it's so mind blowing though. Like you have to wonder what kind of technology this would have been,
right?
But then I wonder how many thousands of years ago that was.
I'm not sure on Atlantis. A lot of people say it was around 5,000 to 6,000 years ago when that happened. They think.
Really?
I mean, you think about how, look at a modern, from 1900s to 2021, the leaps and bounds we've made technology-wise.
Crazy.
6,500 to 6,000 years ago, and they was doing this stuff.
Yeah.
You tell me that these guys weren't on a different whole level than we are.
Yeah.
And a lot of times back, like when Machu Picchu was built, they said these people didn't even possess the modern wheel. Now get out of here with that.
Yeah,
come on, man. You can cut a damn tree down. That's a circle.
Yeah, it's going to roll.
What are y'all doing, man? Like,
yeah.
I should have been a scientist, I guess. But,
yeah, man.
But the physics of what these people achieved, the irrigation they did down there was amazing. Aqueducts, they had fountains in their cities, bro. They had running water.
Well, not to harp back on Egyptians again, but we always talk about how the top of the pyramids were gold capped. And that they allegedly had harnessed electricity through these.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of people, they get it misconstrued. They think the pyramids was a temple. It's not a temple. It's not a burial temple.
No.
There's no kind of hieroglyphs inside of it as far as I know. And a lot of these tunnels are just, the way they're angled and stuff, and they're built on water tables. Mm-hmm. Water's one of the best conductors of electricity.
Remember the Sphinx and how they looked at it and saw how it had eroded over time?
Yep.
And that let them know that it was once a water oasis.
It was they had a lot of water in Egypt. It wasn't always a desert.
So they had irrigation of their own.
Yep.
And they had crops.
Yep. They had crops.
So it was a totally different place.
But they think
2,000 years ago.
That they had some kind of gases inside the pyramids. They created electricity,
Yeah.
And I don't know. They
got there's actually a chamber beneath the Sphinx that's never been opened.
Supposedly it's never been opened.
So we don't know what's in there.
Why have they not opened that?
I don't know. I need to look that up. We'll bring that to you next week.
I'd have to be breaking in with the pry bar, but what's in there?
It's the Ark of the Covenant.
It could be. You never know. It's supposed to be on Oak Island.
Hey, if you guys want to, send us some money, we'll set up like some type of cash app thing.
There we go.
Send me and Garrett over there. We'll bust that tomb wide open. I say tomb, but it may not be.
Who knows what it is, but it blows my mind. I haven't wanted to get into it.
It'll be a King Tutankhamun.
Do you really think they have not broke into that?
That's what they're saying, man.
Why would they not? It's in their grasp right there.
Yeah.
They've broken everything else.
There was a reason behind it, I do believe.
Why?
I just can't remember exactly.
Like maybe the collapse of this.
Potentially, but like I said, we'll get back on that.
Because of this reason right here.
What?
Why are we talking about it?
They want us to talk about it.
They want us to think.
The mystery.
Have they really not?
The mystery. It just blows my mind. I would love to. I wish we had a time machine. I'd love to go back and see some of that stuff going on. Yeah. That would be amazing.
I don't know, man. I've always said that if I had a time machine, I would go back to like the 70s and 80s. So I'm not nearly as far out there as you guys in terms of like, you want to do really interesting stuff, but I'm just.
Could you?
But like, when it comes to the time, I just want to go back and live in the good times. You know what I mean?
Just
like,
party a little bit.
Best times in America. But no, like with a time machine, it would kind of take away the mystery and the fun of it for me.
It would.
I know that sounds kind of like, well, come on, man. Like, you could crack the codes of the universe, basically. Or the
kind of
myths anyway.
I get what you're saying, but how cool would it be to fly over in that time machine at the Battle of Thermopylae when 300 Spartans was battling 100,000 people?
Oh yeah,
that'd have been epic, bro.
I'd be that dude that caught a spear to the head.
Yeah, I'd be my
on accident.
Yeah.
Remember the movie The Time Machine?
Where this bait ass dude come from? That's what they say about us.
Who's this guy? No, you'd be a monster, bro.
I don't know. You would be the monster. You're the one 6'6", bro.
Yeah, but I mean, like. These dudes like 5'2", they're shredded up, but they're like a bunch of vanilla midgets running around out there. Like,
bro, come on now.
He loves this. Come on now, bro. A lot of people get demonstrated too that the Spartans was. They said on average they was around 6 foot, and that was a big, a big Spartan. Yeah, because back then,
the Vikings.
Yeah, back then, like you said, on average, most Greeks was like 5'2" to 5'6". So on the bigger Spartans was around 6 foot.
Yeah,
on average. So they was a big. I wonder if that's where they fine-tune their genetics for breeding. You know what I'm saying? How they discarded their
right.
When a child was born in Sparta, they had the elders look over this child. Mm-hmm. If it had any kind of genetic flaw or defect, they discarded the baby, and that's some extreme shit.
Savagery.
Savage. Yeah, they'd kick my ass over the hill.
We're kind of talking about stuff from thousands of years ago here. I got some pretty cool stuff. So here recently, we discovered the oldest ever human footprints in North America.
I think I heard something about
New Mexico, dated approximately to 23,000 years ago.
And you think about that.
Yeah.
23,000 years ago. Me and my dad, we used to get into Indian artifacts around here, and we have found artifacts 10 to 15,000 years old here. So that's awesome. But they said that we didn't, but the natives came across the Bering Strait in Alaska. Mm-hmm. How long did it take them to migrate south to get down to New Mexico from 23,000 years, it said?
Yeah, 23,000 years ago.
You would think it'd take them at least another 1,000 years to come that far down, because you're already finding food in the upper regions of America and Canada.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because that's obviously, for those that don't know, that didn't do too well in geography, the Bering Land Bridge, or Land Strait, whatever they call it, is a lot further north. It's up around where present-day Canada, Alaska.
Yeah.
At this time, this was when the Ice Age, the last Ice Age, was at its peak. So the northern third of North America was covered in ice sheets reaching as far as New York City.
So that's when they found those footprints.
At this time, 23,000 years ago, when these footprints were created.
There's no way they came through there.
No, there's no way. No one would have survived that. I wouldn't imagine.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, all the food.
So they would have had to came over thousands of years prior, maybe.
Or even entered this region in a different manner. Maybe they had sailing capabilities we don't know about.
Maybe they were just native to South America.
That's true. I don't know.
So then that opens up a whole other.
Yeah, I like that thought though.
Yeah,
because we've been going by this standard so long that what they just guessed on, I feel, and
yeah.
But that's pretty amazing.
And the reason why this is so monumental, if they found this, is that it predates the previous earliest known human footprints in North America, which were found in Canada, by 10,000 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take in consideration 10,000 years.
10,000.
How long we've been on the North American continent as whites and America as a nation?
Right, Europeans.
Yeah, as Europeans. How long we've been here now? 500?
Yeah.
10,000 years. Blows my damn mind. I'm telling you. That's cool though. That's a really cool fact, man. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and you look at some of South America, some of their civilizations and what they accomplished back then. Blows. I mean, like back to Machu Picchu. Mm-hmm. There's interlocking segments of these stones. Have you seen these stones?
I have seen them. Yeah.
Maybe in the video I'll bring them up and pop them up so people can see what we're talking about. Yeah. Like I said, these stones would have to been cut with diamond tipped or diamond style tools.
You remember what the weight of each of those stones were? Because they're pretty large.
Now, some of them, I don't know exactly where. I know the heaviest one that they have on record, I think, was over towards Egypt, maybe, of 200 tons.
That's unbelievable.
200 tons.
Unbelievable. So, for reference, if you don't know, a ton is 2,000 pounds.
So, imagine that.
Yeah.
So, 200 average sedan cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's pick them up and just move them around with a rope and a damn log real quick.
But just to touch back on this one more time, because I want to blow your mind with one other fact. In addition, for these individuals whose footprints were found 23,000 years ago here, in addition to living through that ice age that they were living through at that moment, they were also coexisting with enormous creatures, including giant ground sloths and mammoths.
That's crazy.
They still roamed the earth.
Mammoths.
What about like saber-tooths?
I would assume.
Cats. They was probably out there too.
23,000 years ago.
And they made lions look weak.
Oh, yeah.
Small.
They made modern-day predators look weak.
They was probably the alpha predator.
The apex predator.
I don't know about any kind of bears back then. I know they had that one bear. It was a good sized bear.
I would say they would always been pretty native North America, like bears and stuff, but they weren't. I think bears are larger today, right? Like some of them, some breeds.
I think they had one big bear back then.
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
That is weird.
Bears have gotten smaller.
You got like a Kodiak bear. It's like 1,500 pounds now.
Yeah.
Kodiak brown bear.
But you've got like tigers and stuff that used to be apex. Well, they still are apex where where they're native, but they're not as large as their ancestors.
Right.
So that's just kind of, everything else has kind of gotten smaller, but
bears got bigger.
Bears are getting bigger.
Damn, that's weird. Crazy.
That was the sound of my brain.
Yeah, it's about to be, oh gosh.
Okay.
But that's cool facts, bro.
Oh yeah.
I believe ancient civilizations were way more advanced than we could ever imagine. Mm-hmm. Take this into consideration also. We're talking about the ruins. What would New York look like untouched by humans in 1,000 years?
They'd be gone.
You wouldn't know what was going on. You would see concrete and some steel structure, but it would nothing,
rubble. It'd be all over the ground.
It's pretty amazing that they built something back then to last that long. We talking about longevity last time on our talking about subs and stuff.
Yeah.
Did they build that for that reason, I guess? To just, I wonder why. Because, they could have built stuff a lot easier. It's almost like they took the hard route.
Yeah.
Right. Uh-oh. Some sirens in the background. Oh, they're coming for us. All right, they know we're talking about too much crazy stuff. Let's go.
We got to get off the air. No, stick around. We're not going anywhere.
No, we ain't running.
We're strapped.
We ain't Brian Laundry. But anyways.
He's probably here.
He probably dog right.
That was dog on my right there.
But it just blows my mind that they think that these ancient civilizations did this all with hemp ropes and manpower.
Yeah.
Bro, if you believe in ghosts, you got to believe in aliens.
You know, I feel the same way.
That's just my thought.
You know, there's a lot of people. Kil's been here a lot too. That there's a lot of people I tattoo don't believe in ghosts, and that's fine until you experience it. It's hard to believe in a lot of things till you see it. Me and Corey's had a lot of experiences where we can't explain some of the things we ran into on fourth dimension paranormal, and then there's been times that we've caught absolutely nothing. Right. Almost to the point where we was being skeptics at one time. We're like, man, what's going on here? We're going to these haunted places. People say their house is haunted. We're showing up. Nothing's happening.
Which, we are skeptical of each location that we investigate. We're skeptics when we get there until proven otherwise. But from the broad perspective, we absolutely believe,
Oh, yeah.
Cue the X-Files theme.
Yeah, I need to put it on there, don't I? I really do. But, honestly, when I get on the subject of aliens, people think I'm automatically talking about these little green guys running around.
Martians?
Yeah, they're thinking of the Looney Tunes Martian guy.
Yeah.
We're not talking, I'm not talking about that. Right. I'm talking about they could look like us but be a lot more advanced, Yeah.
We're going to touch on this topic a lot over the course of the
I don't even want to dive into it because this should be like 5 hours long.
It's like the Men in Black.
I want to touch on one other thing that's a cool fact. A lot of people may not know this. But the South American ruins, a lot of them was pyramids. And they're not style pyramids that was in Egypt. Mm-hmm. But they have proven and they've mapped it out that a lot of these pyramids in South America and in Egypt are built on or around the same star pattern, the Orion Belt.
I have seen that.
They're laid out to mimic the Orion Belt. So what's so important about the Orion Belt, I wonder?
Man, every ancient civilization was infatuated with the galaxy.
Yeah, and the Orion Belt. Mm-hmm. I wonder why.
Well, there was no lights that blocked them from the night sky back in those days. So imagine at night, every single night before you go to bed, what are you doing? You're looking up at the night sky.
Imagine how beautiful the sky was.
You're wondering, you're just in awe. And so
I still am.
I feel like they discovered some kind of connection maybe with the gods that they worshipped at that time.
Maybe.
Or felt that they had some sort of connection. And so they constructed their lives around these stars.
Yeah, it just blows my mind though. The Orion Belt was selected by a civilization in South America in the middle, Mediterranean, I guess the North African area is where Egypt's at, that supposedly had no contact with each other. Mm-hmm. But you're telling me that they built pyramids, laid them out on the blueprint of the Orion Belt the way the constellations laid out, and then Egypt did the same thing? How is that? What kind of coincidence is that?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's just a coincidence.
I don't believe it.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Well,
I don't know. Speaking of though, as you was getting into they use their mental capacity to talk about their gods, and I want to touch on a subject of social media and mental health.
Yeah, this
goes really deep.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a tough topic to discuss. Really,
it is, and the social media. I love social media. We all do. I'm on mine probably too much. I'm on my phone a lot. Probably too much. Like I said, we all are. But the youth of America today is being affected by this tremendously.
I agree.
Have you looked at any of this?
I have.
I haven't really looked in a lot of it, but it's just obvious. You got these kids just want to get a like on Facebook, man, or they're being ridiculed on Facebook by another group of people, and it's just detrimental to their mental health.
And it's not just children.
Oh no, it's grown adults. It's grown adults.
Adults are affected by that because there's people out there such as ourselves that we, from a social standpoint, we don't struggle to speak to people in person, to go through our everyday lives and just live a normal life. I think people who are more about trying to portray themselves on social media, who kind of live their lives through social media, almost like they're playing The Sims,
Right.
But with their own lives.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones who are heavily affected because those likes, those comments, the shares, the interaction online.
They need that.
They require it because that's the only gratification that they receive.
It's kind of sad, you know.
It is very sad.
And then they get to where they're dependent on that. It's almost like you're addicted to it.
The dopamine doesn't come if they don't receive that like.
Exactly.
If they don't get that attention.
Yeah.
And the drama that arises from all this stuff is immense.
It is.
You know,
It's too much.
It's crazy. I mean, I love social media. I think it's a great platform for staying connected with people, reaching out as far as our podcast. That's amazing. But it can have a lot of mental adverse effect.
When it is used properly, it's amazing.
It is.
We've never been more connected than we are right now. But the way that it can be used at times, the negative impact that it has on even people who are of of healthy functioning mind.
Right.
You know, the effect that it can have is just, man,
it is nuts.
It's crazy.
It's almost like when you log in on Facebook now, all you see is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that almost brings your mental down, your function because like you're seeing all this negative all the time.
Yeah. If you don't have a strong mindset,
it's easy to get sucked into that.
It's easy for it to affect your entire day, your entire life. But if you have a strong mindset, you can kind of read that, shrug that off, go on about your day.
But I wonder if that comes from us we're grown men now, and we didn't have a lot of that back when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to put myself in the footsteps of my daughter. She's 13, and she sees all the stuff on Snapchat, social media. You know, she thinks she should have to be this way. It's almost like it makes you want to mold yourself to be somebody you're not, just to impress people.
For the youth, it plays a much larger role.
I think so.
I think that their lives revolve more so around it, obviously, than us. And that's why it has a larger effect. I think it's
causing problems, man.
Yeah, your social presence as a kid matters a lot in your life.
It does.
It's a big deal.
What people think of you or something.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think we all went through that as kids. I wonder if they like me, or, you know, why don't I have as many friends? Or,
especially if you were a kid that moved schools or something. You walk into a classroom, you don't have any friends, you don't know anyone.
It's hard.
You know, thankfully I didn't have to deal with that. I didn't move around a lot, but you know, for instance, like going into middle school, there was a bunch of new kids in my class that I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, you walk in and you can say, oh man, I don't care. But to an extent, you low key care.
Yeah. You care.
You want to be, everyone wants to be liked.
And, you know, and as you're coming into being an adult, a young woman or a young man, you're very influenced by things
You're more easily influenced.
Easily influenced, yeah. And it's kind of sad, man. I hate it for the youth. I hope somehow we can, I don't know, man.
You know, I think as parents, it's
hard.
It's hard, but it's on you because
it really is.
There's no way you can control the world. You can't control what's happening on social media. And I also don't want to rob a child of having that experience because, you know, social media is as American as apple pie nowadays.
It really is.
Every one of us as Americans, we have a phone in our hands. We have a social media account of some sort, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be.
And honestly, we're living in a amazing time for that.
We are.
Technology and the way the world's evolving.
Mm-hmm. Just like we said.
Right. We got to use it right.
When it's utilized properly.
Right. It's got to be utilized
But we have
properly.
to, as parents, and I'm not trying to say that in a way that putting that blame on parents.
Right.
At all. But I'm just saying that we just have to try to do our best. I'm not putting any kind of blame of any negativity happening to somebody due to a parent being neglectful or whatever.
Right.
But we just have, that's all we can do is what I'm trying to say.
That's all we can do.
So
if, hey guys, just keep your mind strong, guys. Read a book sometimes. We talking about that on the first one.
Man.
Get lost in a book, man. You don't have to be on social media 24/7. I'm a tattoo artist, and a lot of people complain because it's hard to get a hold of me, and it is sometimes. But at the same time, Corey, and Dustin's seen this a lot. I work long hours. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives me a break on Wednesdays when I do this podcast. Because I make myself cut my day a little shorter.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that.
You make that time.
And I really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I do take weekends off. Obviously, that's for my family.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
It's time to get a lot of stuff off your chest.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic to a degree.
Very. So I'm, guys, you don't have to dive in social media. The youth, if you're listening, grab you a book, man. It's amazing. You may think it's nerdy or something, but I'm telling you, man, when I read a book, it takes me to a whole nother level.
Yeah. And I don't want to down ebooks at all.
No, ebooks are cool.
If you're reading whatever, because I get my news a lot through my phone and all that, but there's just something about picking up a paperback book.
I love it.
And just reading the pages. it is easier on the eyes.
Definitely. That blue light, you know.
And I'm sounding old school here, but something about picking up that book physically.
I never, honestly, bro, until I did it, I never really believed in it.
Reading through those pages, seeing the progress you're making. Hey, man, I'm on page 127, and you open up to your little bookmarker, and there's something about them, like we spoke about that one day. You get lost, man. That book begins to.
It's a journey.
Yeah, you get to you start seeing the world through that book, because Garrett and myself, we spoke about this. We like to read a lot of books that you can apply to your life.
Exactly.
With your mindset specifically, just helping you to think about different things, being more open minded, just learning about different things.
Oh yeah, man. So for the youth, please, man, like I ain't mean to cut you off, Corey.
No, you're good.
Reach out there and grab you a book, guys, for real. You don't have to worry about what people say about you on social media, man. Don't sweat what people have to say about you. Be yourself. Stay in your zone. Be a leader. I remember my dad always told me, son, you don't have to follow suit. Make people follow you. You know what I'm saying? Be a leader. And what I'm afraid of with a lot of the social media is it takes that ability away almost for some people, because some people are so influential by people they're watching. They don't want to become their own leader.
Like you done said, children are heavily influential already.
We
were too. Yeah. We were heavily influenced by what was popular at that time.
I love Sega Genesis.
The clothes we wore, the music we listened to. But hey, man, like Eric just said, to harp on that again, be a leader, inspire.
Inspire people.
Motivate others, set the example, set the tone.
Set the bar.
Be an alpha.
Being a parent, I can just speak a lot of experience on this, because there were a lot of stages in my life that I went through that were not necessarily tragic to somebody else, but tragic to me. So
right.
I went through some stages that I felt that I needed to post what was happening on social media, right? So until my kids said, why are you posting, because I have 3 kids, and my oldest was like, why are you posting this? And it hit me instantly that I had to cut social media out for a little while and deactivate my account, because my kids see that. So if my kids see what I'm posting, that I'm going through, and they ask me about it, then I'm not leading my kids into anything either.
Got you.
Right.
And and a lot of people's blind to the situation till it's pointed out from somebody from an outside point of view.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're easily, like, a lot of people do that. You don't know what you're doing wrong till somebody else points it out, because you don't know you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, that leads up to the social media stuff, the mental health. I just want people to keep their mind strong, and that ain't the only thing to do in life, guys. So, hey, I'm not preaching at you. I'm just saying, man, reach out there. I want to see the future leaders of the world do something great. And social media don't have to be always a part of it. I mean, if I had a phone back then, I'd have probably been the same as them. I ain't gonna lie. Hell, we was on GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, killing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was Mario Karting it up, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat. We was on it.
We were, man. That's what.
But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's time. You know what I think it's time for? I think it's time.
You know what time it is. It's 5 minutes of murder mystery.
That's right. You know what time it is. So on the roster tonight, this evening,
the murder mystery of the week. Jack.
Oh yeah,
the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, 1888. We are at the scene in East London.
More than 130 years have passed.
Wow.
Since a hate-filled killer terrorized the streets of London's Whitechapel. But the scars left are still felt and talked about to this day.
Man,
that was deep.
That was deep, bro. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, it's London's most notorious serial killer.
And back then in 1888, let me try to rewind that. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. In 1888. 1888.
It's all good, bro.
Back then, serial killers wasn't really known much. That's what really took this case to a whole nother level, I feel.
Coincidental to the Zodiac, didn't he have only a confirmed 5 kills as well?
Yes. That's weird.
And so Jack the Ripper had 5 kills. He mutilated 5 women.
5 women.
Yeah.
I think 4 of those was streetwalkers or prostitutes, I guess.
They were.
Now the other one wasn't, though. Didn't he find her in some kind of building?
I don't know exactly
I can't remember on that. But now all of them did get their throat slit, right?
They did.
And that's why they called him Jack the Ripper. Is that one of the reasons?
Okay. And all of these happened within a 3-month period.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not like he, terrorized the streets of London for years. It was like 5
3 months?
killed.
3-4 months?
3 months.
And tomorrow makes actually the anniversary of the time he killed 2 girls in one night.
Yeah.
The 30th, right?
Yeah.
September 30th.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty crazy.
That's crazy. So tomorrow is Jack the Ripper's anniversary for killing 2 women.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow.
They feel that he chose his victims who were like
music going.
Like we just stated, were prominently heavy drinkers. 4 of them were prostitutes because they were more readily accessible. I mean, they're on the streets at night.
Right.
They're been drinking. They're intoxicated. They're and it's
they're trying to make. I guess they was trying to make money through soliciting sexual activities.
That's kind of the mentality at that time, and so it was just kind of maybe he was just trying to feed the inner demon he had. He had to fill that void. Like, I have to kill somebody.
And I wonder what made him hit like that, because he did a lot of things that was surgically precise. They said also, like the way he cut a liver or something in half and sent one half to the police officers, right?
Yeah,
into the police force.
I think there were some organs of one of the victims that they never found. Like he took it as like a souvenir.
What the hell's going on?
You almost think this something bad happened to this guy. Like he just abruptly died because someone who would kill as savage as this guy did,
he just stopped.
They
try to blame that a lot on the overabundance of police force that started patrolling also. But I don't believe that. When somebody's got that kind of animalistic way about themselves, they're not going to stop until they get caught, really.
We talked about the Zodiac. He was also allegedly mailing letters to the police. Now, it could have been a copycat killer, just like the Zodiac. So
it could have been.
As far as personalities go,
because some of the letters that they did receive was very poorly constructed. I read up on, but now they did receive one letter that was they feel was really on point because it disclosed a lot of the stuff on the case, I guess.
Yeah, contained within the letters were details of his activities.
Yeah, I was lost
and also
words.
Warnings about future crimes that he was going to commit.
Right, and the details that he disclosed in that letter, only the police officers knew about, right?
Yeah. So when they came to fruition, it was like,
okay,
there's something to this,
Yep.
So,
there's so many speculations on who this could have been. They think that maybe Jack the Ripper may have died, and that's why stuff ended. Because there was a guy that committed suicide, I heard, around that time that the murder stopped.
Yeah.
And they thought maybe it could have been him, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But there were so many other people that could have been involved. Like we said, this only started from like September to November or something like that.
Yeah, September to December probably.
December. I'm sorry.
I mean, but
Jack the Ripper.
So, there were some people out there some suspects that they were like, hey, we think it's him, but they didn't have anything solid to really pin it to him.
They thought
DNA that he would be either a butcher or a doctor by the way in which he hacked up the bodies.
Yeah, because he done with precise,
precision.
Precision was crazy, they said.
And, someone with the expertise of a butcher or a doctor obviously would have no issue hacking somebody up, like with blood. And, there's some people who just don't have the affinity for that, so they can't do it. So,
right. I don't know. There's been so much speculation on who it was. There was a few people they had that was really a person of subject or interest, I should say, that they said that certain people they had on this case, they took certain routes to work. Yeah. That's where some of the girls was found killed.
Yeah.
These exact paths these people took to work, these guys.
Did you hear about that? There were 2 American psychics who apparently had written letters at that time and sent it over because, this was like, I won't say the news was worldwide, obviously, because we weren't as connected.
Right.
In the late 19th century.
I wonder how long it took to get here.
I don't know, but it was in the news, here in the States already.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, primarily New York City, about there's a serial killer, because like you said, this stuff didn't really happen back then.
No.
So like I said, the news was over here. There were 2 psychics who apparently tried to help solve the case and sent letters over. One gave a name. I actually don't have that.
So the psychic gave a name,
but it didn't. There was no person of that name that lived in the area, and then another one gave an address. That address did not exist.
So we're just pulling stuff out of a rabbit hat here
and sending it over to the police. But they were following these leads. They were so desperate to try to find the killer.
Yeah, because they was being ridiculed. I think one of the captains resigned, or like he was being ridiculed for not being able to catch this guy.
People freaking out. They're like, these people were being slaughtered in the streets, and you guys are doing absolutely nothing to find these people. You know, even though they were doing everything they could, they just didn't have forensic technology.
Nope. If they would have, they could have probably caught the person.
But nowadays we do. And
have you heard about that?
There's one individual that we believe they found DNA on an apron. I believe
a shawl. It was a shawl.
And pointed to a 23-year-old Polish immigrant by the name of Aaron Kosminski. He was a barber by profession. He obviously had access to knives and was a prime suspect at the time. So he was a suspect already, but they just didn't have enough evidence against him or pointing towards him to be able to convict anyone. So now that we have but that could have been contaminated.
They did say that because so many people handled this shawl.
And obviously we can't.
But I did read that they may have recovered semen and blood off the shawl that did match this guy's family lineage. They tested the bloodline of his family.
Yeah. How would you feel about that? What if someone came to you and was like, we need to draw some blood. We want to try to test your DNA. Your great great grandfather potentially was Jack the Ripper. Would you be like, dude, that's sweet?
Well, that's like me and the Lizzie Borden thing.
Do you think that's cool? Well, we don't even know if Lizzie really did it.
Well, true, but not taking away from Jack the Ripper here, but it was pretty amazing that I was tied to somebody. Like we said before, Americans were drawn to this kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's just so interesting. It's taboo to us.
It's a huge thing in American history, Lizzie Borden case.
Yeah, so whenever my niece said that, I was like, you're bullshitting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking into this myself, and it did lead back through Ancestry.com and the DNA. Yeah. But we'll let you go along with this.
So, even though the findings, led to this 23-year-old Polish immigrant, it's still, there's nothing definitive about it,
Yeah, they can't really prove it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean the case is closed, and so the Ripper might have taken the mystery of his entity to the grave.
Another thing on this guy, the reason they think it may have stopped because he was admitted to a insane asylum. Did you hear that? He ended up going crazy. He was in an insane asylum several times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he ever admit to it though?
As far as killing?
Yeah. Did he say, "Hey, I'm the Ripper"?
Do that, but it's
because like you would have to know that individual was like, "Yeah, I'm the Ripper." And if you're crazy and you're already going to be into a psych ward, you might as well just be like, yeah, because there's people probably step forward and claim to be him.
Oh yeah, it.
Just like people step forward and claim to be the Zodiac and
and fake. Why would you do that?
Just for publicity, and you're already probably convicted of something.
Mind too.
Yeah, you're psycho already.
But you're going to be, if you start, that's like I watched a show one time about crimes that people just went ahead and admitted they did it and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
When they're being interrogated, they finally cracked and said, I did it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Why would you do that? Like, man, it's crazy.
I don't know, man.
But Jack the Ripper, man, like,
that just
he terrorized.
Pressure, I guess.
Must do it.
But man, that's severe.
Like, that's crazy. But Jack the Ripper, man, he terrorized East London in 1888.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's weird how it just stopped abruptly.
It's weird how the personality, like we just said, seems to coincide with that of the Zodiacs. The personalities are very similar. They did very similar things.
They did. Do you think that the Zodiac kind of based some of his stuff on Jack the Ripper?
He probably could have.
You know what I mean? The letters.
Yeah.
Now, Jack the Ripper never did no kind of codes and all that stuff.
He didn't have a symbol that he identified himself with, as like the Zodiac.
Right.
So the Zodiac kind of did his own thing.
He did, but I just wonder if he molded some.
I would say
the Ripper's case,
because if you're in that mind state that you want to kill people and you're aware of what you're doing, and because they were both intelligent individuals.
Yeah, they had to
do
be
it and get away with it.
All right. And this one guy, he was a barber.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. So he did have access to.
Yeah, to say that his DNA ended up being just coincidentally somehow on this shawl. Come on.
Now
I don't know.
This was from a streetwalker, though, right?
It was.
Could he have possibly had sex with this girl before she was killed, and they just pinned this on him? Yes. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's hard to say that 100% that was him.
I also want to see this 130 plus year old shawl that they got DNA from.
Exactly.
Is that not insane?
That's really insane. I didn't know. I mean, I know DNA lasts a long time.
I mean, you could get like bone marrow out from like after so many hundreds of years still and get DNA that way, but off of actual piece of material with maybe blood or something like that's crazy.
Was his blood type ever found on it though?
I don't know.
I can't remember reading that. I just know they.
So what did they actually find? Semen. That's what they found.
Semen on it.
You think they kept evidence like they do now? Like in a little box?
Oh, no, wow. Hell no. That thing was handed around like crazy. I heard.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They said so many people handled that over the years.
Oh, then
yeah. But at the same time, why was it was DNA on it from?
But you know that it had never come into contact, most likely, with the family of this man, of which they took the DNA from to
like semen on it. Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
That's why.
But like you said, like we were saying earlier, you know, if she was a streetwalker, it could have just been a coincidence that they had messed around.
He could have had a rendezvous with her that night, and then 5 minutes later,
the Ripper
face to face with the Ripper.
That is very true.
So,
Jack the Ripper case is pretty amazing. But yeah, that guy was. What was his name?
His name was Aaron Kosminski.
Yeah. They said that he was in a insane asylum for a while, a couple times, and I think at one time that I read he got kind of violent with a female staff worker. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Jack the Ripper case, unsolved case files.
Unsolved case files. Brought to you by MindFaction Podcast.
We hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah.
We really like these murder mysteries, and if you guys like them, please comment. You know, and hey, maybe you guys can give us one to do. You know what I'm saying? If you get in the comments or hit us up on our page.
Yeah.
If not, we'll just keep bringing random ones to you. So
we'll wrap this up a little bit here.
Yeah.
We'll jump into the entertainment.
You want to?
So
fade us out real quick.
You know, there's not a lot of movies coming out here, you know, in the near future. So November 19th, guys, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I ain't heard about this.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
What? So, you know, the Ghostbusters that came out, I think it was 2016, I think.
Yeah.
You know, there weren't very good reviews on it.
No.
Never watched it.
It's hard to beat the classics.
Yeah. So anyway, this one is says when a single mother and her 2 children move to a new town, they soon discover that they have a connection to the original Ghostbusters and their grandfather's secret legacy.
Oh, okay. So, I see what they're playing off of. Yeah, so that's cool.
You know, unfortunately, Egon Harold Ramis, he's not going to be in it. He's the only one that has passed away. He's no longer with us, but maybe they'll CGI Egon in there because he was my favorite. But
I'm sure they could.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that.
When's this released?
November 19th.
Okay.
So yeah, just want to touch on that. It's another movie I think you guys would enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who didn't really at least enjoy the first Ghostbusters movie.
Man, them are classics.
They're awesome, man.
I can remember watching them as kids like it's yesterday.
There's so many good movies come out in the mid 80s. The first one came out in 84.
Oh,
man.
Good
times, man.
It was a whole different world back then.
Yeah, so many good movies, man. And it kind of, kind of takes you back to that time when you can kind of, because I mean, it's just like with the Halloween series right now, right? The very first one came out in 1978.
Yeah.
There's actually, speaking of that, because we brought it up on every single episode, but they released a new trailer on that.
I ain't seen it.
And there's a flashback scene in it with Dr. Loomis standing on the steps of the Myers house and Michael standing out front, and it looks like it's kind of CGI'd. It wasn't originally filmed in 78.
Right.
Man, I'm so pumped.
It's dope.
I heard that
I'm about to watch
the movie's supposed to start off with that flashback scene.
Oh, man.
With Loomis and Myers, yeah.
Let's go watch it.
That's epic.
Let's go watch it and do it.
It actually got pushed back. Got pushed back, though.
Are you serious?
It's coming out October 28th instead of October 15th now.
It's kind of cool because it's close to Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's what they did.
What day is it on, I wonder?
I don't know. Probably a Friday.
Yeah, look it up.
I bet it's a Friday.
Man, I hope all of y'all go out there and check it out. But like we said, now is that just released in theaters, I wonder?
Friday.
Absolutely.
It's on a Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said the 28th?
Yes.
28th.
No, it's on Thursday.
Okay.
Well, that's okay still.
I'm ready for the weekend.
Hey, we might have to go check that out.
We'll have to.
Does it say if it's in theaters or if it's at home, or does it say anything about
HBO
that?
Max, man, they're getting everything right out the gate.
Yeah, I got that.
As soon as
you can rock that in the theater room.
Oh yeah. I'd rather go to theaters and watch it, man. I like the vibe.
I do too, man. You cannot beat that.
No, you're going for the experience.
You are.
It's the full experience.
It's classic.
You get the bucket of popcorn. You get the drink, even though it's going to cost you $50. But
I'll tell you where we need to go. There's one in Oak Ridge that serves like alcohol. It has recliners like shots and stuff.
Yeah, I've been to there was one in Nicholasville called the Movie Tavern.
Was it dope?
Legit.
All right.
I got
highly
the one
recommend.
in the mall in Knoxville, the big Cinemax or whatever.
Do they serve alcohol and stuff?
Yeah, they lounge back. Do they come and take your order and everything? Like you can order food?
Oh shit, that's where we need to go.
Yeah, the Movie Tavern up in Nicholasville is like that. I didn't know if that was like that down there.
Yep.
We need to go see that.
We'll go, man.
We'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about the Ghostbusters. I hope that it holds up to our standards.
I hope so, man. I hope they recover from that last reboot. It was absolutely terrible.
You know, I hate when
version.
What is it?
Was that the female version?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I hate when that stuff happens because it almost ruins the legacy almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It taints it so bad.
Yeah, you know, sometimes, man, whenever a sequel is, especially when it's just done no justice, I mean, sometimes things are just better left untouched.
They really are.
Unlike
At least,
The Run. The Run needs a sequel.
Yes, our show, look it up. Moonshiner's car show, The Run. Me and Corey did an epic little short film, you know, and had a little help with some local people here that was pretty fun.
And we would love to film a sequel for you guys. We would love, because we have a script written out, guys. We would love to do
Corey
that.
worked hard on a script.
So
maybe we need to do it next
talk about
year,
it
bro.
all the time. We would love to film something. We actually also want to film a bunch of things for you guys, but hey, baby steps, one step at a time.
Just add me into all of that stuff.
Here we go.
Absolutely. We'll throw Losi in there.
We'll include Losi on there.
Yeah.
But you know, that's like with 4D Paranormal. I want you guys to go check out our episodes if you're into paranormal stuff, because we put our heart and soul into those two. We just got 2 episodes. And I know we feel like failures because of that. I mean, we was hard on ourselves, but at the same time, people don't understand the work that goes into making those episodes.
The editing is what really drags it down.
It does.
Per se. Not necessarily drags, but it just mentally, before you ever even investigate, you already know the hours and hours of evidence that you're going to have to review. And
it's just me and you.
It's just me and Garrett. And, you know, then just in the filming of it all, you know, we have to get different angles. We have to get interviews.
Because we want to do the best cinematics we can for y'all too.
Yeah. So, you know, bringing all that to you guys, and it's just Garrett, myself, and all the editing time and everything. And, you know,
we work full-time jobs.
Yeah. We would love to get paid to do all this stuff. Unfortunately,
man.
you know,
remember that time we was going to try to make like a GoFundMe for 40, and they're like, you can send us anywhere. Y'all suggest it. Yeah. And we're going to pay for it. We're going to go film it.
You guys would still be cool with that. And
hey, we down.
We would love to go anywhere you guys would want to send us.
I'm going to tell you where we need to really go. Bobby Mackey's.
In Wilder,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
We hit old Bobby up, roll up in there, stay all night if we could.
Do a podcast.
That would be epic. Haunted podcast, bro.
Yeah, that would be
That would be dope. Mm-hmm. It would. Well, you know, do you want him with some fun facts before we roll out tonight? I know we're kind of everywhere on this episode, guys.
We're just rolling through.
I'm just I'm gonna go ahead and let them know what's up.
It's time for fun facts with the bros.
The bros. You know what time it is. So Corey's got some really cool fun facts tonight for us. He's went hard on this episode. Okay. I've been slacking. I am sorry, guys. I've been real busy.
I'm just here.
Okay. So
Losie's like, I'm the wingman tonight.
So Garrett and our buddy Joe Kennedy, shout out to Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Podcast one of these days. Research has found that a midday nap can make you more creative. Garrett and Joe, they know how much I like to sleep. They used to get on me about that all the time. But yeah, it can make a midday nap can make you more creative, focused, and fresh for the rest of the day. But one study also found that they can also reduce your risk of heart attack. Specifically, those who regularly nap were found to be 37% less likely to die from a heart attack or other coronary ailment than those who work straight through the day.
You know, I guess it gives your heart a break, maybe.
Yeah, man.
Now, how long are these naps supposed to be, though? Does it say?
It wasn't specific, but I mean, I think studies show that was like a 15-minute power nap is sufficient. I mean, we're not trying to nap for 30 minutes to an hour.
Right, because you feel like shit when you get up
you feel horrible, man.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Do you think it's because your body's trying to shut down and like really rest, I guess?
Yeah.
You start getting in that certain deep sleep.
It's a hard reboot.
Right.
Take one of those naps and you wake up 7 o'clock and you think it's the next morning.
Oh, I've done
I
that.
did that the other day, man. I came home from work 5 o'clock. I woke up at 7. It's daylight. I'm like, oh, I'm late for work. Yo.
Wow.
Nope.
Yeah. So that's all I got on that. I'm just trying to make that point. Hey, man, I knew what was up even back then.
We're sorry. Me and Joe Kennedy used to criticize Corey because we'd be in our group chat like, damn, where's Corey? Oh, he's probably napping like a 65-year-old man. And technically, on Corey's defense, he had a thyroid issue we did not know.
Yeah, it's all good. It fixed itself. No medication necessary. I don't really know how that happened, but it did. And
well, I think your body heals itself. It regulates, you know. Yeah. The first thing, and this is supposed to be fun facts, I'm going to touch on this real quick. The first thing you do, everybody wants to throw you on some kind of medication.
Yeah.
It's just a Band-Aid for your body a lot of times. Anyways, sorry. All right, let's go something else.
What you got for us with the fun facts?
Well, this one's kind of odd, but you know koalas.
Yeah.
You know, an animal, obviously. Mm-hmm. They have unique fingerprints just like humans.
Each one has individual.
Each one.
I just heard that, yeah.
Each one does.
So that... I always just thought they had. Well,
I thought humans was the only ones that really had fingerprints like that, as far as unique.
Right.
So what's up with that? I wonder.
Man.
So I know when that Well, my damn bamboo trees been getting fingerprint.
It's just odd that there are so few other mammals that have unique fingerprints that are individual to them other than us, which is...
That's weird.
Is that the only other species besides humans?
As far... It just says like humans, koalas actually have unique individual fingerprints.
Man, if there was Kodiak bears running around here with individual paw prints.
We know who did that damn trash tearing out over there.
We know who did that. I fingerprinted him. He's down the street.
That's funny. But yeah, that was probably kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's really odd fact.
Yeah.
I did one on jellyfish last time. Immortal jellyfish. Yeah,
that's all good, man. We're hitting up with the animal facts.
Yeah, we just want to bring an array of different topics and subjects on that.
Yeah.
What else you got for us?
All right. So while it's unlikely that they cause cancer or spark a fire at a gas station, like a popular lore might suggest, mobile devices have been found to be loaded with bacteria, which we've all heard this before. According to some research by British scientists, the average cell phone carries 18 times more potentially harmful germs than the toilet handle in a men's restroom. When was the last time you disinfected your cell phone?
I'm doing that right after this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why I don't grab my phone and text them right back when I'm tattooing.
Yeah, you might as well be licking the doorknob, I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So 18 times?
18 times more bacteria than the toilet handle in a men's
Well, the
restroom.
thing is crazy about that is it's like you're the main person handling your phone, though. Yeah. So I guess that's being drug off other things you touch during the day.
How many times do you flush the toilet in a men's bathroom with your foot?
Oh, I'm all the time.
Always. I never touch that
thing. Hell
no,
bro.
It's nasty. I ain't doing that.
I ain't trying to sit on it.
But I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to go grab a bite to eat, just to be real.
Damn. Hey, people's going to be thinking a whole lot of different things about that phone next time they grab it.
That's gross, man.
Dude, that's rough.
But it's
That's just rough. I mean,
holding my phone right now.
Got to bring the facts no matter how hard they are to listen to.
Hey, that's true.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it super real for y'all. What you got over there? I hear you over there.
I'm just reading facts.
I'll give you another one real quick.
He's trying to find something interesting.
Hey, it's interesting.
That's okay.
Russia has more surface area than Pluto.
No way.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's not a planet.
Man. You know what's crazy about that?
Yeah, it could be true.
That's true.
It's more like a moon or something.
Dwarf star.
Yeah, and they actually excluded it out of our solar system, right? Yeah. They took it out. They didn't. Yeah. It's not. I remember when I was a kid in school, that was another planet. That was a celestial body.
All right, I got one for you real quick. I'll hit you with
what?
One more.
What?
So it's kind of one of those common sense things, I guess, if you know anything about astrology or how planets work.
Okay.
But apparently, we found some frozen ice on the surface of Mars.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, man, wonder what happened to all the ice or the water that used to cover Mars.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it just escaped their
atmosphere.
Their atmosphere, yeah. Or lack thereof.
Yeah, because the atmosphere on Mars is it's lacking a lot of certain gases.
Yeah, that kind of inhibit things to escape.
With that.
Something
catastrophic big. I don't know if it was a meteorite or
destroyed their.
It took the it took their atmosphere off their whole planet almost. I mean, it's still got a slight atmosphere. So
we pretty much kind of concluded that at one point it had an atmosphere that contained, just like how Earth does, contained the moisture, the water.
Right.
Kind of recycled it.
It's crazy. Hell, when I was a kid, everybody talked about Mars being red, and it was made of iron ore mostly, and they didn't know if the water was on it. Get out of here with that. What makes iron rust? You got to have water to cause rust.
Yeah. You're just using.
I was a kid and I was like, well, metal rust with water.
Yeah.
They don't think there was water on Mars. Now they're saying, oh, there was, and now that we found stuff. Man, what in the hell?
Genius, bro.
I'm telling you, right?
You want my fun fact now?
Let's hear it.
Hit it, bro.
A woodpecker's tongue actually wraps all the way around its brain, protecting it from damage when it's hammering into a tree. Yep.
Dude.
Fun fact.
Say that one more time.
A woodpecker's tongue actually wraps all the way around its brain, protecting it from damage when it's hammering into a tree.
So the only thing going through my mind right now is an X-ray of a woodpecker.
Yeah.
So it can just touch its brain
with its
tongue
while it's hammering.
There's so many crazy things on this earth as far as like animals, and it's amazing the diversity of all this stuff. I would have never imagined that.
No,
because I always did think, how do they not cause themselves brain damage, just like a ram when they're hitting each other? You know what I'm saying?
So what kind of evolutionary thing happened there? Were they just knocking themselves out when they were, so that like this evolutionary trait come along where they're like, I can get my tongue up around my brain, I might want to wrap it around my brain. Yeah.
How do they find this out though?
That's true. How did scientists?
I guess I don't know, man.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's cool. Hey, that's a really cool one, bro. I like that.
That's insane.
Well, that's like a shrimp though. The heart is located in its head.
Bro, just read that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't have like certain worms have 3 hearts?
Yeah. I think worms do.
It's like, why?
That's like a cow's got like 2 stomachs, right? Cow's got like 2 stomachs.
Yeah.
What the hell? Camels hold water in their back.
There's probably aliens going, man, these guys got 2 kidneys. What do they need 2 kidneys
They're
for?
probably like, man, they're catching on to us right now.
I bet
there's probably a UFO hovering over the building right now that you know what's going on.
They're tapping into Spotify and they're like,
I hear what y'all talking about.
MindFaction.
MindFaction, huh?
I need to beam these guys up.
They're getting closer.
Listen to this. Another cool fun fact. The world's longest concert lasted 453 hours. You talk about rocking out.
That Woodstock?
Holy shit. I bet Josh Edwards, shout out to Josh Edwards, was raving like hell during them 453 hours.
Yeah, I'm not going to expose him on his extracurriculars, but I know he was going hard.
Man, if y'all don't know it, Josh Edwards is a really cool guy, a veteran, and he was part of, and still is, in my book, part of our 4D Paranormal.
He is.
And maybe we can get Josh on here for an interview. He's a super cool dude. We can get him on the phone every. I think he's living in Kansas now.
Yeah.
But
so when he's available, we like to call him up.
Yep.
Shout out to our buddy Ed.
Shout out to Ed,
Josh
man.
Edwards.
What's up, bro? I hope you're listening. Good dude
we
right
miss
there.
You, bro.
Hey, we do, man. We had a good time with Ed.
We did, man.
Ed's
a good dude.
It's a good
time.
Man, awesome dude.
Do you know goats have accents?
Goats have accents?
What the hell?
So it's like a regional thing. It's like, I can tell where this goat's from.
I know that one's from New York.
It was like,
look at that redneck over there.
That one's from Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's weird.
Goats have accents. I'd say cows probably do too.
I wonder if parrots do.
Oh, for sure.
They have to.
Pick
them like Southern drawl or something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's cool. Speaking of parrots and birds, man, some of these birds, we're getting all kinds of damn fun facts. I've always been told, I got a story. My grandma, one time when she was a kid, she told me this when I was younger. She said, I come home from school. I heard a knock at the door. She said, I go answer this door and I'm looking for an adult person, and I looked down and she said there was a crow standing there. And it said, hello, and flew off.
Crow.
A crow.
Whoa.
They say if you cut a crow's tongue, you can teach it to speak just like a parrot.
If you cut its tongue?
Okay.
You got to splice their tongue, I think is what they were saying.
Okay. Here's my thing on that, okay? So who was out here capturing crows, splicing their tongues, and who told that crow to go not only knock on that door, but to address a human as, like, look at them and go, hello?
My grandma said when she was a kid, she was like 10 or 11, and it blowed her mind.
Like,
how would it not? Like if somebody, you know what I mean?
So think about this. So, crows will fly around. They'll perch on anything around you nearby.
Yeah.
They're hearing, okay, just proceed. So imagine you're this crow.
Right.
Okay. You're hearing all these conversations amongst humans.
Oh, yeah, you're picking them up.
How many times you just walk up to a person and go, hello? I mean, even back then, you don't.
I'm telling you, man, it was crazy. This was in Cincinnati, Ohio, for anybody that's listening.
Hey, bro, or hey, man, or, even back then, people were saying that.
It had to be somebody's pet, I guess, that got loose. But at the same time, I never knew that which I was young when she told me this, but I never knew when you cut a crow's tongue that you could teach it to speak.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions on this, man.
Maybe we should need to kind of research that, maybe. I mean, I'm just taking it from what she told me, and I looked it up later in life. And
do you think that's true? You know the movie The Crow, the one where Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, passed away?
Yeah, he died in that one.
I heard, the quote that's in that where it says that crows were believed, was it by Native Americans, maybe a group of natives believe that crows carried your soul over to the other side once you passed?
Yeah, and the Vikings they held crows real high.
Yeah.
They said they thought that was what their god in battle.
Yeah.
What was it, the god's name, the Viking god? It wasn't Thor.
I'm failing you right now, man.
Yeah, that's your damn descendant. You know what I'm saying?
Of course I
bloodline.
Know. Of course I know his name. I've went into battle.
That's my great grandpa.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty wild. But yeah, I do think that the Native Americans, they had a lot of symbolism with animals anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I just think that's I just wonder if that's legit. I mean, we know it is with the Vikings, but if that is what I was getting at was, what if that was a crow just carrying on somebody's soul to the other side, and they just dropped in just to say hello.
You never know. You never know. But
I know you were going to answer the door.
I remember my grandma said it blowed her mind, and shit, it wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah.
I'm 37 years old. A crow knocks on the door right now and says, "What's up?" I'm like, "What's up, bro?"
If I never knew this, and the dog just, hey, and then just ran off, I'd be like, what the?
This world's coming to some real crazy
I'd be looking
shit.
whatever I was drinking or eating and be like, hey man,
That's too funny.
What was in that?
That's great, man. That really is. Well, what do you think, guys? Should we wrap it up? We keep talking.
Wrap it up.
I think we should wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty good on it. We tried to hit y'all with some facts.
Extended episode in comparison to the first 3.
Yeah, we're about 10, 15 minutes longer, but that's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, something to say, So I'm going to cue the music tonight. Man, we really appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. Everybody here at MindFaction, we appreciate all the love. We can't really say that enough,
Yeah.
Without you guys like listening to our stuff, it just makes it fun when people come to. I've got several text messages, dude, this week that was like, bro, I love the podcast so far. And we really appreciate you guys.
Just had so many people message me and approach me.
It's awesome,
and just be like, hey man, you guys are doing great. Love the podcast.
Definitely.
We appreciate the feedback and all the love that we're receiving.
Love it.
We just want you guys to continue sending that our way. Let us know what kind of job we're doing, what we need to improve on, what you like, what you don't like.
Because at the end of the day, we're here to just get better at this. You know what I'm saying?
We're just here to entertain you guys while we're in the process of just kind of getting some things off our chest.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man, it's kind of fun just having. We've always had conversations like this before the podcast here at the tattoo shop. Mm-hmm. So it's really fun to sit down and really touch base with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gives us time to unwind our minds from everyday life.
Like I said earlier, it's kind of therapeutic, I think, for each of us here.
Yeah. So. And, here in the near future, we want to get some people maybe to call in. We got some really cool ideas, so stick with us, guys, for the near future episodes. And I was kind of in touch with Dolores Cannon, her publishing company, Ozark Mountain Publishing. Mm-hmm. They actually said, hey, I reached out to them and said, hey, we would like to kind of do an interview with one of your authors. And they said, hit them up on the email. So we might be able to have a call in with that. I wish Dolores was still alive for that.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that would blow my mind.
I would say she would have been up for it.
She would have. She was a very nice lady, it seemed like. And also, I'm going to stick a plug in there. I bought another one of her books. It's called Jesus and the Essenes. And I'm about 60 pages in right now. I haven't been reading much this week because I've been so busy with work and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's very interesting. As I unfold through this book and read more of it, I'm really going to relay some of the things on with you guys.
Yeah. Keep us posted.
Yeah.
Hey, on the end note, I want to give a shout out to a special young man.
Yes, sir.
That we lost.
Man,
this past week. Just keep, if you pray for the family.
That's right,
this community has really came together for this young man. And as we lay him to rest tomorrow, you just pray for us if you do, and be much appreciated. But special shout out to Dylan.
Yep, it's a tragedy.
And we appreciate everything that this community has done. And
oh man, it's been super what they've done, bro.
Unfortunately, it takes a tragedy sometimes to bring a community together, but it shows the support inside of such a small hometown.
Absolutely.
Yes, and how many people here have such good and kind hearts,
Right. Yeah. So we just here at MindFaction, we want to give our condolences and give our love, good vibes, better vibes to them.
I know this family, and they're good people.
It's such a tough thing. I mean,
man, it broke my heart when I heard about it.
Absolutely, and like Losi said, it's sad that it takes that sometimes to bring communities together, but we're blessed to live in a place where it does, and we come together when it's needed.
And I'm gonna say, not down in McCreary County earlier, we wasn't doing that at all. We have very, very heart-filled people here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're down to earth here, it seems like. Mm-hmm. Not saying nowhere else is, but I'm from Cincinnati originally, and it's such a social difference as far as the way things are ran.
We're much more tight knit, and that makes a huge difference.
We are, man. I really appreciate about this area. I do, and I still love my family in Ohio. Don't get it twisted, guys. I love y'all. Yeah. I see y'all listening on.
Sometimes the tight knit is a blessing and a curse, but in this situation where we come together in times of need like that to have each other's back and to bring that comfort, it's a blessing. So, man, I tell you, very thankful for that.
Very thankful.
Very thankful for the community coming together for this, for these individuals.
This young man, this boy, man, shouts out to everybody that
he's in a better place than we are. Right. That's the way we got to look at it and know that in our hearts. And, just if, like Justin said, if you pray
for this family,
pray for this family and to give them peace and to give them comfort in this time.
It's hard. It's a hard situation. I can imagine it.
We dedicate episode number 4
to Dylan
and
my dad
and to Garrett's dad,
Jesse Sims, the best man I ever met.
Yeah, one of the greatest men I ever had.
He was my hero, bro. Yeah. He was so supportive and stuff. What we wanted to do, you notice that?
Yeah, he was, man.
Like my dad. even if he wasn't interested in a certain topic, if we would have brought it to him, he would have been the most interested dude ever, because he loved seeing our interest and our, you know, our just excitement about something. Right. Oh, he loved to run, dude.
He did.
Oh, he loved to run.
And you know, it's so that type of personality that presses you forward. It's that type of personality that spurs you on to do better, to do bigger things.
I miss that, bro. Yeah, about him,
because it was motivating.
He motivated me so much, and he don't even realize the effect he had on me.
And you didn't realize how the effect you had on him.
Right. Yeah. He was proud of me. I could tell,
because you represented him, and he knew that. And he was like, "Wow, you know,
that's my son."
Yeah. And
I'm gonna keep his legacy alive. We all will,
as we dedicate this episode, and honestly, as we dedicate this podcast to him, because I know he would.
Man. Oh, he'd have loved it.
He loved it. You know, absolutely.
He would have been proud of us, bro.
Yeah.
He would have. So Dylan, you know, I don't know. It devastated me. Then this year's been crazy. Lost a lot of friends this year.
Lost a lot of
good people's left this earth, and
over the past year and a half.
Oh yeah,
and
so we're gonna dedicate this to them.
Yes,
yes, we are.
Yes,
you know, so everybody here at MindFaction, you know, our condolences to everybody.
Yeah, and we just want to give out good vibes, and inspire, and motivate, and continue to entertain you guys. And that's what we're all about. So
we're about.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, guys. So, hey, tune in next week. We're going to hit y'all with a really good episode.
Number 5. We'll see you guys in.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What you're going to hear about today is nothing short.
We've been given the scientific knowledge, the technical ability.